Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that can be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And today I'm continuing with my journey into Ambrose's puzzles that were mentioned in his recent Sudoku creator stream, which was over on BremSter's channel. And I'll link to that stream below, as well as linking to this puzzle. Ambrose called out that arrows was the constraint that he felt that he understood the most. And there were a few puzzles that were called out explicitly, the first one being the well, and then there was 14 times 2 or something, the one I did yesterday. I've got this one on screen at the moment. I don't even remember the name of yesterday's puzzle. And of course, this is Cheviot, which is, I believe, a type of wool. Ambrose knits. This is another one that I'm looking forward to. I've been told this one is quite tricky as well. I'm not running this past testers. I'm just doing these puzzles if I can. I'm really looking forward to it, and I've enjoyed the previous two, though they've both had really interesting tricks to them, so I'm going to be interested to find out how this one goes. Nothing to call out. Below for the link to the puzzle, below for the link to the Sudoku Setter stream. Let's get straight into it. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have normal arrow rules. So the digits along each arrow sum to the value in the attached circle. So the sum of those two cells goes there. The sum of those two cells goes there. It's perfectly fine for those to be 2, 2, and 4. That could happen. I don't know, but that would be legal by the rules. The sum of those 3 goes there. Ooh, we've got the normal opening for arrows here. And then we've got XV pairs. So digits in cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10. Not all X's or V's are necessarily given. So it's perfectly fine for those two cells to sum to 5, the same way as it's perfectly fine for those two cells to sum to the digit in that cell. Like there could be a hidden arrow, an arrow here that isn't shown. There could be a V here that isn't shown. It's perfectly fine. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. We've got some 3-cell arrows. The minimum you can put on a 3-cell arrow is 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So these are a minimum of 6 with a maximum of 9. I have a deduction. I have another deduction, which is all of the V's must be from 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are all from 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if I put a 5 on a V, the other side would need to be a 0. And anything above 5, the other side would need to be negative. I don't have zeros or negatives in a Sudoku grid. But these V's have to be different. Because if this was 2, 3 and this was 2, 3, I'd have that 2, 3 would repeat in the column. And that wouldn't work. So these are different types of V. One of them is 1, 4, the other one is 2, 3. I don't know how that is helping me. Maybe here, because 2 of these digits have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think 2 of them need to be from 1, 2, 3. 2 of these digits need to be from 1, 2, 3. Because if they're not, the minimum I could have would be 1, 4, 5, and this would need to be a 10. Does that do anything? No, because I could do 2 digits from 1, 2, 3, and that would be a 4, and everything is fine. And I don't think it stops this from being a 1, 2, 3, because I only need 2 digits from 1, 2, 3 in here. Does that need to be low? No, you can never put a 5 on an X, and on an arrow, you can never put anything higher than a 6, because if you put anything higher than a 6, say I was to put a 7 here, the minimum I could make these would be 1, 2, and 7, 1, 2 means that would need to be a 10, and I can't put 10 into a single cell. So the maximum you can put onto a 3-cell arrow is a 6. So if this is a high digit above 5, because you can never put a 5 on this, because a 5 would need that to be a 5, and they would both be 5, and that's broken. So if this isn't 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's a 6. And I'm not sure what to do with that either. It's possible that these need to be different, because if they were the same, it might cause problems on those arrows. There's definitely a lot of pressure on low digits. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What can that digit be? This needs to be even. This needs to be an even digit. Blue is even in my head, or blue could also be low or whatever, but in this case, blue is even. And the reason for that is this row contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. I don't know where, but that's part of the rules of Sudoku. Place the digits 1 to 9 in every row without repeats. So if we add all of the digits from 1 to 9, they hit 45, sometimes referred to as the secret, sometimes referred to as the rule of 45. Whatever you decide to call it, feel free to tell everyone. Put it on a t-shirt, put it on a flag and run it up a flagpole. Don't keep it a secret. It's important for people to know if they're solving Sudoku, variant Sudoku. This row contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. So if this contains all of the digits from 1 to 9 and sums to 45, 45 is an odd number. But this arrow sums to an even total. And why do I know that? Well, this arrow is that whatever they sum to plus the same total. So this would be a green and this is the same total. So whatever this is, if this was 4, if these sum to 4 and that was a 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. If it's 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. You always, basically it's 2 times green, and 2 times any digit is an even total. And the same is happening here. This is 2 times whatever that digit is, which is an even total. So even plus even is always even. So the sum of this line is even. So those digits are even. The sum of all of those digits is even. But this is 5. So they are odd. So the sum of those is odd. So this needs to be an even digit. So it's 2, 4, 6, or 8. Because if it wasn't, the sum of this line would be odd, which is even, plus even, which means it would need to be an even number, but 45 is odd. So this must be even plus odd plus even. Even plus even is even, plus odd is odd. So that's the way it works. But these need to sum to 40 because this is 5. So the sum of the blue line plus that digit needs to be 40. So what's the maximum that these could sum to? I'm going to remove the line because I think I've proved my point now. So what is the maximum they could sum to? Well, if these are 8 and 9, that is 17. 17 times 2 is 34. So the maximum this could sum to, no, that can't be right. Yes, the maximum this can sum to is 34. 17 times 2. Plus 5 is 39. So if this summed to any less than 36, I don't get to 45. So if this is 2, these would sum to 7, and these would need to sum to 38. 38 divided by 2 is 19, and I can't make 2 digits sum to 19. The maximum is 8, 9, which is 17, so this can't be 2. And even if it's 4, 4 plus 5 is 9, these would need to sum to 36. 36 divided by 2 is 18. No, that's not right. 4 plus 5 is 9, these would need to sum to 36. Yeah, 36. These would need to sum to 18 and they'd need to be 2 9s. It doesn't work. This can't even be 4. This is a 6 or an 8. But the interesting thing is this row is the same. So this is a 6 or an 8. And these can't be 6 or 8. This is a 7, 9 pair. That's really cool. So one of these is 7 and one of these is 9. I think my math there is correct. Maximum here is 17. 17 times 2 is 15 times 2 is 30, plus another 2 times 2 is 34. 34, it's 39. This needs to be at least 6 or it won't get to the total. So this is a 6-8 pair. That's the better way of thinking about it. Which means these are a 7-9 pair. So where's the 9 in this box? I can't put 9 in any of those because of the 7-9 pair. I can't put 9 on a V and I can't put 9 on an arrow. The 9 is in one of those two. And the same is true for 7. This is a 7-9 pair. because I can't put 7 in any of those. I can't put 7 on a V. If this is a 9, I can't put 7 on a 3-cell arrow. This is a 7-9 pair. And now I want to ask about that digit. Where is that digit in this box? It's not in its column, and it's not any of those. That digit is on this arrow, and if it was 8, the minimum would be 8, 1, 2, and this would need to be an 11. There is a 6 on this arrow. This is the 8. This is the 6. This is beautiful, Ambrose. And this is now 6, 1, 2, because the minimum I could put with a 6 is 1, 2, and 6, 1, 2, and the 6 has to be in here, sums to 9. This is a 7 arrow. Now, a 7 arrow, the minimum you can put on an arrow is 1, 2, 3. If you put 1, 2, 3 on an arrow, that sums to 6. I need to increase one of those digits by 1 to get it to 7. If I increase either the 1 or the 2, I end up with a duplicate digit. So I have to increase the 3, and this is 1, 2, 4. This is 1, 2, 6. Now, if this is 1, 4, this is 2, 6. If this is 2, 3, this is 1, 6. I don't know what to do with that. But this is 1, 2, 6. So there's no 1, 2 here. This is 3, 4. So there's no 3, 4 here. This is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. But I don't know which. There is a 5 in one of those two by Sudoku. Because 1, 2... But I could figure this out, surely. This sums to 6. These sum to 10. These now sum... No, these sum to 11. Sorry. 6 plus 5 is 11. So if these sum to 10, we'd be broken. These sum to 11. So 45 minus 11 is 34. These need to sum to 34. Basically, the question is, where is the 8 and 9 now? Yeah, but these sum to 30. No. Do it by math, because otherwise I could get confused. The 9 must be in an arrow, but the 9 could potentially be 8, 1. But they can't, because these sum to 11. 45 minus 11 is 34. 34 divided by 2, because remember, the sum of those digits is the same as the sum of those digits. I could use a different color to make it more obvious. But the sum of green is the same as the sum of yellow. So I'm working at 2 times that total. So 45 minus 11 is 34. 34 divided by 2 is 17. So they must sum to 17, and these must be the 8, 9. And now there is a 7 in one of these, but this is an 8, 9 pair. But I could do the same down here. These sum to 13. So these sum to 32. So there's 16, and there's 7, 9. Because the only way to do 16 is with 7, 9. Because I can't use 8, 8, and if I don't use a 9, the maximum I've got is 8, 7, which is only 15, and I can't get to 16. So I need a 9, and that's 9 plus 7. So now I've got an X-wing on 9s in orange. What is an X-wing? If this is a 9, this is an 8, and this is a 9. So there's either a 9 in one of those. If this is a 9, this is an 8, and this is a 9. So I've either got a 9 in one of those two, forming an X up there, or a 9 in one of those two, forming an X down there. But what that means is if this is a 9, this is a 9, and I can't put 9 in any of those. And if this is a 9, this is a 9, and I can't put 9 in any of those. Either way, I can't put 9 into any of these cells. So none of those cells in grey can contain a 9. Well, that can't contain a 9. Those can't contain a 9. Those can't contain a 9. None of these can contain a 9. It's not quite enough, is it? I don't think I can use that, because 9 is in one of those, 9 is in one of those. I'll keep it in mind, but I don't think it's helping. The 6 on this could be 6, 1 or 6, 3. That's going to force this. Okay, there's a tweak I don't know yet. Well, this is 1, 2, 4. So this is 9, 8 or 6, and it's not 6. So this isn't the 4. This is an 8 or a 9. 7, 9, 7, 9. So there's no 7, 9 in here. So there's a 7 or 9 up here. There's a 5 and a 6 in here, and they're on different arrows. if I put 5, 4 on one of these arrows, so if I put 5 with the 9, the 6 would go with the 5 with the 4. Yeah, 5, 4, 6, 1, or 5, 2, 6, 3. Yeah, that just works, doesn't it? That's very, very uncomfortable. What about up here? 7, 1 would leave, hang on, I can't, oh, 4, there's a 5 up here. 5, 4 would leave 7, 1. 5, 3 would leave 7, 2. It just works. There's a 5 and a 7 up here. Okay. I haven't cracked this puzzle yet. This puzzle cell is under a lot of restriction. It can't be 1, 2. It could be 3, 4, 5. It can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is only 3, 4, or 5. This one can't be 1, 2. It could be 3, can't be 4, it could be 5. This can only be 3 or 5. This cell is a minimum of 3. No, I haven't cracked this yet. There's something I don't understand. There's something very important I don't understand. I think I've done the easy part of the puzzle and I haven't figured out the trick. Though sometimes I miss the incredibly bleeding obvious. Nine is not in any of those. 9 is in one of those 3. That's not it. What is it I have missed? It's going to be something incredibly obvious. So there's a 5 and a 6 down here. I'm going to highlight this in green as well to remind me that I'm talking about the arrows. So this is either 2, 5, 6, 3, which would make this 1, 4, or it's 1, 6, 4, 5, which would make that 2, 3. That all works, doesn't it? And this must have 5 and 7 on it. 1, 7, 4, 5 works to make this 2, 3, or 2, 7, 3, 5 works to make this 1, 4. Okay, unfortunately, I got called away and had to go deal with a bit of a family crisis. And while I was coming back and figuring out where to pick up, I did notice that I had missed some scanning. So this is all I've seen, and I'm telling you about it right now. All I'd missed was down in this box, I can't put 5 in any of those. So I'd already pencil marked 5 here, but I hadn't looked up and made this a 3. So 3 is in here, which means 3 is not here. 3 can't be in any of those cells. So 3 is in here, and this is actually a 2, 3. So this has 1 and 4 on it. So I think I'd been exploring this. Sorry, it was about an hour ago. I think I was exploring these. So now I have to put 1 and 4 on here. Now I can't put 4 with the 6. So 1 goes with the 6. So this is 1, 4, 5, 6. And the 4 and the 5 goes with the 9. So this is 1, 4, 5, 6. But there must be a 1 or a 4 over here, because otherwise this becomes 5, 6, and this would be need to be an 11. So there's a 1 or a 4 here. So this can't be a 1, 4. This is a 2, 3. Okay. There's no 2 on here. This is a 1, 6. This is the 2, and there's no 2 here. There must be a 2 in here. So there's no 2 up here because there's a 2 here and there's a 2 on here. So I've already got one of the twos in column 2 and 3, because there's only one 2 in column 2 and one 2 in column 3. But one of them is down here and one of them is in here. So there's no 2 here. So this is 1, 4. And now this is 2, 3, 5, 7. And the 2 goes with the 7 and the 3 goes with the 5. But now there must be a 2 or a 3 in here. So this can't be 2, 3, because that would leave this is 5, 7, and this would need to be a 12. So this is 1, 4. But there's a 1 in here and there's a 1 in here. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3. This is a 4, 5 pair. But there's a 1 in here and there's a 1 in here. And because there's a 1 in one of those two and a 1 in one of those two, that's the 2 1s predisposed to these columns, and I can't put 1 in either of those. So that's the 1, that's the 2, that's the 4, and the 2 makes that the 8. This now is at least 5. 5, 6, 7, or 8. It can't be 9 because this has to be higher. This is at least 6. And this can't be any higher than 4? Because if this was higher than 4, 5 plus 5 would need this to be a 10. So this is only a 2 or a 3. And that matches up with the 2, 3 up here. But the 2 makes this the 3. So this now 3, this is a maximum of 6. And this is a minimum of 3 plus 5. So this is only an 8 or a 9. 3, 5, 8 or 3, 6, 9. But there's no 3 up here now. And the 3 has to go with the 5 to sum to 8. Because I can't do 3, 2, 5, and I can't do 3, 7, 10. So this is 3, 5. So this is 3, 5. I take out the 2, 7, and then I can take the 3, 5 out of those. So this is the 8. This is the 9, making this the 7 and this the 9. The 7 has to be the 1, 6, because the 6 can't go with the 3 to make 9. So this is the 1, 6, and this is the 4, 5. And these are all resolved. That's beautiful, Ambrose. This can't be 2 or 3 anymore. So this is a 1, 4 pair. Putting 1 over here somewhere. And the 1 can't be, well, the 4 makes this the 1, making this the 4. The 1 looks down, making this the 6 the 1. And with the 1s, this has to be a 1 now. We know this column, this is a 2, because I haven't put a 2 in this column yet. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. There's no 3 there. Oh, I'm broken. I got this backwards. Yeah, when I did this, I removed the wrong one. 3, 5 comes out of there, and then 2, 7 comes out of there. And this is the 9, and this is the 8, and then this is the 7, and this is the 9. I removed the wrong one when I got the 3 here. Was that still correct? Was that 3 correct? I'm now second guessing myself. How did I get... Yeah, this has to be 2 or 3, because the maximum... It has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. Otherwise, we blow the title. 5, 5 is 10. This is 1, 2, 3, or 4. It has to be 2 or 3, and it can't be 2. This is 3. And then this has to have a 2 or a 3 on it, and it has to have a 2. So this has a 2 on it. There's no 2 here. There's a 3 here. I can't do 3, 7. So this is 3, 5, which takes 3, 5 out of here. Right, this is a clearer way of explaining it. This is 2, 7. So this is the 9. This is the 8. The 9 looks down, making this the 7 and this the 9. The only way to sum to 7 here is 1 and 6. 1, 4, 1, 5 doesn't get me there. So this is 1, 6. So the 1, 6 comes out of here, and 4, 5 sums to 9. And now I can get rid of the colouring having done it correctly. I did a pencil mark error up here. Now let's continue. The 1, 4 is looking down, making that the 6 and that the 1. There's no 6 here anymore. 3, 5, 8. 3, 7 doesn't work. This has to be 3, 5, 8. And 9 is in one of those two. The 2, 3 takes 2, 3 out of here, which takes 2, 3 out of here. This is 1, 4. And 4 can't be in any of those or any of those. 4 is in one of those two. The 3 is looking up, making that the 5 and that the 3. The 5 is looking down, making that the 4 and that the 5. The 4 is looking up, making that the 1 and that the 4. 1 is in one of those 3. And I could use the same trick. I've already disposed of the 2 1s to those columns. That's not the 1. This is the 1. And in this column, I still haven't placed a 2. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 9. And there's no 3 there. So 3 is in one of those two. And now it's not broken. Aha! Now I don't have 2 3s in this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those, but there's no 8 there because of this arrow. This is the 8. This is a 5, 6 pair. The 2 is looking down, making that the 3 and that the 2. The 3 is looking up, saying that's not the 3, that's the 3. These are the 5, 9. The 4 is looking up, making that the 1 and that the 4. The 1 is looking down, making that the 6 and that the 1. Okay, I think I've used almost all of the constraints now. So now I'm just down to Sudoku. 1 is in one of those two. I need to put a 6. This is a 1, 6 pair because I need to put 1 and 6 in this box, but that 1, 6 is removing them there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2 digits are 7 and 8. So these are 4, 5. I need to put a 9 in one of those two. They're 4, 5, 9. 3 is in one of those two. Because I can't put a 3 there, but I have to put one in the box. What's this column missing? 4, 5, and 6. Well, I can't put the 5 in either of those. That's a 5, taking 5 out of those. That's a 4, 9, making that the 5 and that the 4. And these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, and 8. And the 8 is looking down, making that the 3 and that the 8. Not broken open yet, but I'm close. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to put a 5 in here. Could go anywhere. 6 is in one of those two. 7, not sure, but 8 is in one of those two. Okay. This 8 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 8. So 8 is in one of those two, but this 8 is looking across saying not there. That's the 8. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7, and 9, and there's no 7 or 9 there. That's the 6, and I can take 6 out of those. This is a 7, 9 pair. 5, 6. Is that breaking this column open? Because I'm with... Yeah, where's the 4 in this column? I can't put 4 in those because the 4 is in one of those two cells. I can't put a 4 there because of that. That's an 8. I can't put a 4 there because of that. That's the 4. That's the 9. So this is 2, 7, or 9 only, and it's not a 9. So that's a 2, 7 pair. That's the 9. That's the 7. This column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 4, 6 pair. And the 4 is making that the 6 and that the 4. There's no 9 here. These are 2, 3, and 7. And there must be a 3 in them. Looking for the weak spots. This column, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 6, 7, and 9. And there's no 6 or 7 there. That's the 9. So this is a 6, 7 pair with the 7 looking over, making that the 6 and that the 7. The 6 looks back, making that the 5 and that the 6. The 5 looks across, making that the 9 and that the 5. The 9 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 and 8, and I can't put an 8 there. So this is 5, 8. Take the 8 out. These, 1, 2, 3, 6 and 7. 6 and 7, and the 6 is making that the 7 and that the 6. The 7 is taking 7 out of both of those. So that's 2, 3, and 7. This triple is going to be resolved. Let's look at this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 2 and 3, and there's a 3 looking down, making that the 2 and that the 3. The 6 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 6. So this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, these are 2 and 4. And the 2 is looking across, making that the 4 and that the 2. The 4 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 4. The 2 is looking up, making that the 7 and that the 2. These are 1 and 9, and I'll use that 1 to make that the 9 and that the 1. And that is the correct solution to the puzzle. 51 solves in 2 years. Again, this is a puzzle that we need to get the solve count up, because Ambrose is a really good puzzle creator. The trick on those two cells, was a little tricky. And I'm sorry I spotted the pointing pair of fives up at the 3 off camera, but I had to take a phone call. I don't like having, I do that off camera. I find an edit point just before I finished, because what happens is my phone rings and everything. I'm immediately not paying attention to the puzzle. So I immediately just roll back to effectively the previous deduction I made. And while I was coming back and resetting up OBS and everything, I saw the pointing fives, because I've got to make sure that everything lines up. And I told you about it. I spotted that off camera. Everything else is on screen. You saw it all. And if you turn around and want to go, oh, BremSter cheated, call me a cheat. I don't care. I solved a puzzle. I presented it to you. I had fun and I presented a puzzle. Me having fun, goal number 1. Presenting a puzzle, goal number 1.5. Leave comments below about what you think goal number 3 should be. I'm really happy. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed these Ambrose puzzles. I'm going to go back to other setters now, but these have been a joy, an absolute joy, and I hope you've enjoyed them as well. Of course, I'll provide links to the Logic Masters Germany, and if you go to the puzzle in Logic Masters Germany, for any of the puzzles I do, if you click on the setter name at the top, you can see a list of all of the other puzzles that the setter has published on Logic Masters Germany, so you can find all of those as well. Really, really good way of doing it. And if you want to recommend puzzles from other setters or anything, I've spoken about that before, but you can leave a hidden, if it's a setter that you know I've featured on the channel before, odds are I've got permission from that setter, and you can just send me through a note saying that you think it'd be a good puzzle for the channel. If it's not one you've seen on the channel before, then you can leave a hidden comment on the Logic Masters Germany puzzle after you've solved it, saying, do you mind if I recommend this for a video solve to someone? And then you can send it to not just me, send it to other channels as well. Recommend it to whatever channels you think. CTC is the big option, but there's Logic Lima Gaming, there's Timotab, there is Puzzle Patzer, there is so many other people who are doing them now. If you Google people who do video solves of Sudoku, you will get dozens now. And I think it's great, and you should feel free to recommend to any or all of them. But of course, I'm looking for good puzzles to solve on the channel as well. So, don't forget me. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. And as always, good luck with your solving.